So you've been hurt by another person. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you feel all that anger still within you. And that's valid. That makes sense. And trust me, I've been there. I've been there where I've held on to so much anger and so much hurt because someone hurt me. Someone betrayed my trust. Someone didn't show up for me. And it's painful and that's valid. And listen carefully, to forgive does not mean to forget. And I wish I knew this sooner. I felt like if I forgave the person, I forgave their actions too. I forgave that I justified their behavior, that if I forgive them, it's okay what they did to me. But that is not true. You forgive for yourself. You forgive because you know that you deserve to be free. The feelings of resentment, of anger, of hatred, maybe even that you're holding onto towards this person is like giving someone poison, but then drinking it yourself. Because nobody is being hurt more by these feelings that you're experiencing right now than yourself. And once you recognize that, you can start to move through them and start to forgive that other person for yourself. Not because you condemn their actions, no, because you know that you deserve to be freed of holding on to this resentment. The only person that is affected by the feelings that you're holding onto towards another person is yourself. And it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel comfortable to hold on to hatred or resentment towards another person. And once you start really recognizing that and feeling that, you may become ready to let it go. And for me, what initiated my process of forgiveness was I felt tired of holding on to anger. I felt exhausted from holding on to all this past hurt and pain and anger towards this person. And I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I started looking at ways, okay, how can I forgive? And I started realizing that to forgive is not to forget. So a few things that worked for me was the first one is compassion. And having compassion for someone doesn't mean that their actions are justified. In having compassion for someone, you can see that oftentimes the person that hurt you is deeply wounded themselves. And imagining this person as a young child just asking for love and just wanting to be loved, and it's showing up in such a wounded ways has helped me kind of shift perspective and have a little bit of compassion. Because if you don't see the person as a human being, it's going to be a lot harder to show compassion and to be able to forgive them and free yourself. Another thing to realize is that when someone betrays you, when someone hurts you, it's coming out of fear. Hurt or betrayal or anything, it can't be born out of love. It is born out of fear. And fear met with fear, so fear that causes betrayal, and then anger and resentment that is also coming from fear creates even more fear. So it's up to you, the responsible, more conscious one, to meet that fear with love. And this doesn't mean that you openly need to love the person that hurt you. The person doesn't have to be in your life anymore to love them for who they are, for just their beingness, for their woundedness. And this does, you can love someone and not want them in your life. I also want to be very clear on that. You can forgive someone and love them and still not want them to be around you or in your life because you hold the standards high, because you know your worth and you know your value, and you can still love someone and let them go. So look at where you can soften your gaze. Where are you looking with anger, and how can you shift that to looking with love? And again, you're doing this for yourself. You're not doing this for the other person. If you want to, you can do it for the other person, but you're doing this because you love yourself and you cherish yourself and you deserve to be free. Another thing is gratitude. When you start seeing, okay, this person hurts me, but I've learned this lesson and I've learned this lesson, and it showed me this about myself, and now I know myself more deeply in this way. You can start shifting from resentment for what they did to you to gratitude for what they've taught you and what they've shown you about yourself. I have gotten to become so grateful for those who hurt me. So grateful because they showed me parts of myself that needed to be looked at. And they made me aware of those parts. And now I love myself more, on such a deeper level that I couldn't even imagine before. These past hurts have initiated such deep healing within myself that I now feel so much love for them. And my heartbreaks, my betrayals, my pains, like whether this be from a relationship or from your parents, they've only deepened my capacity to feel and to love. And I'm illustrating this perspective of shifting your view on this because it will give you so much freedom. It will give you so much more peace, so much more openness. And these slight perspective shifts can give you so much more peace. They can give you so much more freedom and openness in the way that you are and the way that you're looking towards other people and towards situations and towards your past. That just feels so much better than holding on to the resentment and the hate. And another thing here is you can't force the process. You can't force upon yourself to forgive someone. For years, I held on to the belief that I could never, ever forgive my father. Like, never. Until I started to shift my perspective and hold a more compassionate gaze. And I started becoming curious to the possibility that I may be able to forgive him. Even towards my ex, like I thought I could never forgive that person for hurting me so deeply. But shifting my gaze to one of compassion, shifting my approach to one of love, has helped me realize that it is possible for me to be freed of these heavy emotions of anger, of hatred. And I'm not saying anger is bad. Anger is great. Express it freely, like the way that you want to, like feel it. Don't just bypass it. But also give yourself the opportunity to be freed of it. And I just want to lovingly remind you that you are worthy of being free and you are worthy of feeling free and feeling open and feeling safe. And it is possible, and it just takes some time, it takes some work, but it's possible for you. So I just want to invite you to reflect on maybe where are you holding on to resentment or anger towards people of your past or even people now, where you can soften your gaze a little bit and become curious towards the possibility of you forgiving them. I hope that this video helps you, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.